Our next question, Jim, sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Charlie in Starkville, Mississippi.
I knew it. Brand new decade, but the same old under-the-table dealings. Shenanigans.
Oh, here's one question about this guy, and there's another one here, too. What are your thoughts on the reports that Matt Riddle just signed a new 3-year, $400,000 per year contract with $50,000 bonuses for every match he works in Saudi Arabia?
Oh, God. I heard, or I didn't hear, but I read something on one of the articles that have been retweeted that they had to talk him into it. I know a lot of people see something in this guy. I like the fight pit match he had, but do you see a fucking superstar in this guy?
You know, it's weird for me because for a long time before I ever saw him, I heard all sorts of things. From he's a potential superstar to he's fantastic to
I heard all that.
He reminds me of Kerry Von Erich. I mean,
I heard that from somebody.
I heard all sorts of things. I think he's good.
Yeah.
But I do not, and I could be proven wrong, but I do not see him at that level of star that other people have so far. And it's only based on what I've seen of him in NXT and a little bit on the main roster.
You know what? Think about this. He's like a modern day Johnny B. Bad. Think about this now.
That's pretty rough.
No, he's good to have on the card. He can have an exciting match. People will cheer for him. Put him in a main event and get him to try to do a serious fucking promo. Put him in a money match and try to get him to do somebody else's match besides his own shit. You're lost. I see him as a guy on the card. I don't see him as a main event guy. That they didn't used to put that much effort into talking people into signing with them, especially when where else is he going to go to AEW? Well, good. They've already established they could hand them fucking anybody and it wasn't going to make any difference. And he probably would fit in with those goofballs in AEW because.
And he owns his name. It's his real name. So, I mean, actually, It's good for that.
I know he's got a shoot MMA background and he's a legitimate athlete. And also another thing about him that's legitimate is he reminds me of Darby Allin. He looks like and acts like he legitimately is goofy. And when I try to like some of his matches, he does that goofy shit and he has that weird way of walking and the fucking promos with the bro.
He's stoned. He's a pothead.
Well, yeah, and I'm not fucking intrigued by a fucking guy that can't be bothered to get in a fucking fight and get upset, cut a promo and things and such and carrying on. He's on the card. So, but if he's at 400, is he in NXT or is he on the main roster these days? Is he still in NXT?
He's on the main roster. If you remember the last we had heard about him, the last we had talked about him here on the show, Vince McMahon made the edict to drop the name Matt. He was just
That's right.
Riddle.
He's just Riddle. He just Riddle. And then later he'll be Joker and then later he'll be Penguin. So I guess now we'd have $400,000 for a guy on the main roster? Fuck. I'm glad I'm not quitting my day job, if that's all it is.
Well, let me ask you a follow-up. This is another email sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from Andrew in Cleveland. Recently, Hulk Hogan gave his thoughts on who he sees as the next breakout star in WWE and mentioned that he sees Matt Riddle, or Riddle, as the next big thing. Hulk mentioned a similar comment back in 2015 about Kevin Owens being the next top guy. My question is, does Jim agree with the Hulkster? And furthermore, does Jim think Hogan is a credible source for identifying the next big thing based on today's ring work, promo, and overall presentation format? I personally say no. And then here's the exact quote from Hulk Hogan. Right now, there's another guy that's stumbling into the situation. Acting like he doesn't.
The situation.
Acting like he doesn't know what's going on, but he's smart as hell. That's the bro. I've been watching him, and he's really got good instincts. He's really got a good aptitude for understanding what needs to be done. It's all about instincts and timing. His timing is off a little, but it's starting to come each and every week. So, I mean, he would be the next one I'd put my money on.
I can only presume that Hogan was asked about him in some interview and decided, well, I'll praise him because that way they'll quote me on this interview, and like we're doing now. And then probably as soon as somebody mentioned another name to him, he's, oh, that guy's great also. I don't know. I don't have any idea. I mean, Riddle is what Riddle is. He's a guy on the card. I thought he had a lot of potential at first, and the more I saw him, the more I'm like, this don't translate as anything, but he's a modern day Johnny B. Bad. This fucking bro, I don't give a shit, I'm stoned fucking gimmick. Only going to go so far. It's like, at least he's a legitimate athlete, and he doesn't do matches with the Invisible Man or stick his hands in his pockets. But really, when you think about it, pockets is just that turned up to 1,000. Why would you want to see a guy fight that can't be bothered to get mad enough to actually try to have a fight and fucking trash talk somebody and sound like they mean it? I don't get it.